We have just come out of the RGG Summit of September 2025, and with it, it brought the official reveal of Yakuza Kiwami 3, in addition to the pleasant surprise of a Mine Gaiden game to go with it. The trailers for both come with a lot of interesting additions and changes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 11th episode of the RGG cast, where we talk about all things Yakuza / Like a Dragon. Grab a snack or a drink and join us as we try to talk as much as today allows about the new reveals. Now, first of all, we I guess can address the summit. You know, it was only like yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday morning. Had to wake up for it. How are you guys faring with the summit? Let's start with you, Froob. Did you wake up for it as well, or?
No. I decided. So if this was my old sleep schedule, I think since the last time we've done these podcasts, I actually wake up during the day now. I'm actually a normal human being. So when they were like, "Hey, we're doing a summit and it's at 4 a.m. my time," the more sensible person would have been, "Okay, go wake up at 3 a.m." No, I decided to stream for 26 hours. Or like I was awake for 26 hours and streamed for like 12 of those hours. It was a lot. So yeah, no, it re-energized me. That's what the summit was like for me. So
I can relate to that, yeah. And what about you, Gokudoni? Did you wake up for it?
Yes and no, because I had a bit of trouble sleeping the night before because, excitement, we have a new summit on the way. And then when I actually awoke at 5 a.m., I wouldn't say delirious, that's the wrong way to put it, but I was the entirety of yesterday is just in a bit of a brain fog to me. And I remember seeing K3, okay, we kind of expected. And when Mina dropped, I was like, no, this isn't happening. What? So it only really hit me what happened when I woke up this morning. It's like, oh no, that actually happened. That wasn't a dream.
Yeah, and I think it was just like at a right time for you, right, Snowiest? It was like afternoon.
Oh yeah, it was 1 p.m. I was chilling.
Yeah, lucky you. But yeah, it was great. A bunch of us like co-streamed the event, and it was pretty fun. Now we can talk about our general thoughts of what we saw from Kiwami 3. I guess we can start with Froob, like general thoughts, like anything that doesn't specifically have to be around any particular topic. What you got to say?
yeah, no. I think like just straight off, I think people have been hearing me talk about a potential K3 for a long time. Just as we're going through as well, by the way, if anyone is noticing my echoes a bit audio in this recording, my entire room is getting redecorated tomorrow, so the only thing in my room right now is the bed behind me and my streaming setup. So sound echoing, so I apologize about that. But yeah, I've been saying about a potential K3 for years, and how a good couple of years ago I was like kind of staunchly against it, because like whenever it comes to the Kiwamis, the RGG do, I think they always take kind of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Like there's always like really good changes, and then there's like something or other that's just a bit, either like it sticks a little too rigid to what it should be with like K1, or combat gets a little bit too messy like in K2, or addition exists. So when it came
Yes.
to Yakuza 3, which is genuinely one of my favorite games, I understand why people dislike Yakuza 3. And coming off the back of Laddition, I was very afraid that RGG were just gonna Laddition it, or not give it kind of like what it needed, the quality of life, the like extra little changes, and like everything they said in that direct. The second that Hori said, "Hey, we tackled this aggressively," music to my absolute ears. Like genuinely, like Dragon Engine, perfect. It's a ground up Kiwami, just like obviously K1 and K2, which is what it needed to be, because that's what people wanted from it, including myself. Even though I really like the combat in OG Yakuza 3, with something like this, you want it to just be different. It is a Kiwami. You've got the original if you want to play it, and the vast majority of people that want to play a Kiwami 3 want something a little bit different from the original. And the biggest complaint was obviously like the blocking, the guarding, etc. And being a proper Kiwami like this one is, it won't have half that problems. The remaster of 3 definitely exacerbated those problems quite a fair bit, but having something like this K3 where they're doing obviously 2 styles, which we'll talk about later, but also expanding on the orphanage stuff. Like, a lot of people don't like the orphanage stuff. I want more of it. And that's the thing they announced. And I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's. I'm also like looking forward to what you can do in the orphanage, because it seems like there's a whole bunch of different activities and not just like one or two things.
Yeah.
And what about you, Gokudoni? What do you think, like generally speaking, of what we saw of Kiwami 3 specifically without Gaiden?
So, for anyone who probably watched the old K3 episode of the podcast that we done, they probably already know where we stand, which in my case, I still believe that there should have been other games that were Kiwamified before this. However, the between all of the new things that we've seen, apart from the recasts, which is kind of its own story, everything that I've seen with regards to new cutscenes or adding different resolutions to old story beats to kind of rectify some of the newer decisions that haven't been addressed in a meaningful way for a while, those things, and as you've already said, the expansions on the orphanage, those are the bits that have me excited the most, because again, I fall into the category of really, really loving Yakuza 3, which may be to the detriment with regards to some of the creative choices, but I've genuinely been intrigued by everything that I've seen in the trailer. So, yeah.
Right. What about you, Snowiest?
The biggest thing for me every time I replay Yakuza 3, speaking of the orphanage stuff, is just how like much padding there is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real big problem with the older games because it's like more annoying to skip stuff. Like you can't just pause and skip a cutscene or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And for me, replaying it, I'm gonna look forward to being able to just go, nope, I'm not dealing with your like 30-minute text.
Okay. Hold on. If we're talking about that, we can't not talk about Yakuza 5. That is the worst offender in the whole series.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna be excited for the day when we get Kiwami 5. Yeah, go on.
There are so many potential positives to come out of Kiwami 3, but the big thing for me is always just going to be the quality of life stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm sort of, I guess, in the minority here, but when it comes to Yakuza releases nowadays, I'm sort of like indifferent to a lot of things. Like, people ask me like, "Hey, Leon, what do you think if Kiwami 3 would happen? What do you think if this happens? What do you think if that happens?" Usually the response I give is sort of like, if it happens, cool. Like, I'm probably going to be excited for it and I'll play it. But Kiwami 3 is one of those things that I'm like, if it happens, that's nice. But do I really wish for it? Not really. And, now we are getting Kiwami 3 for real. And I am looking forward to it. I think from what we've seen, it does look pretty good. I highly doubt they're going to make the combat as abysmal as Kiwami 2. So that's already a net positive for me. Well, we'll talk about some of the other things soon, but generally speaking, yeah, I'm fairly excited. The prospect of Okinawa in Dragon Engine, having the I guess you can say replayability of Dragon Engine, being able to skip like major dialogues and all that. Kind of looking forward to seeing how that's like, but there's always a catch. There's probably going to be new forest side content, but that's a whole other kind of worms.
18 tutorials for the new minigames.
Oh god, no.
Yeah. We'll talk about the side content later, but like I genuinely feared that we were going to get clan creator. Like they were going to be like, hey, this group wants Kiryu's land. This group wants this land. Then, this small town area, you get a gang clan creator. So I'm kind of glad we didn't get that, thank goodness.
You know how it is, the 4 or 5 kings or tycoons or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's going to be the Gal Gang thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally that. Just combine the LJ biker stuff with that. Because the actual gameplay looks kind of like Clan Creator, so I'm waiting for them to be, Kiryu, I want the farm that's behind Morning Glory.
Yeah.
I need a place for my cows.
There's also like this big elephant in the room, obviously, which is like the recasts. It's one of the like most talked about topics as of today. They changed Rikiya, they changed Nakahara, and they changed Hamazaki. I'm not missing anybody, am I?
Not that we know of.
No.
Okay, so
because we had a very small like shot of Joji as well, and he's still the same.
Yes, Andre's the same. Would have been fun if they cast like an American actor though. But yeah, so we got
Ryan Gosling as Andre Richardson.
Ryan Gosling, freaking Tom Cruise, because why not? But yeah, the recasts have been a mixed topic to say the least. But then again, this is one of those things where every time it happens, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys. Like, what's the first instance where we got something like this? Yakuza 4 Remastered, was it?
Yeah, no, K2 was before Yakuza 4 Remaster, right?
K2, Takashima.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So Yakuza 4, you have the recasting of Tanimura, but there was like a whole thing behind that, for better or worse. Then you have with Judgment, or Kiwami 2, I guess. Which one comes first? I forget.
Judgment, K2.
Kiwami 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Kiwami 2.
It's weird. Six Fist, K2, Judgment.
Oof.
Didn't they all come out in the same year, give or take?
1 year between each of them.
Right. Yeah, so
RGG are wild.
they are. Kiwami 2 added a whole bunch of like, new actors. They might have switched. No, there wasn't like already existing actors in there yet. So yeah, they added like new actors, and then you have Judgment, which recasted Pierre Taki, and then you have the Ishin recasts, which is another notorious example. A lot of people were attached to the characters that existed, especially Takeshi Hanpeita from Ishin. A lot of people really enjoyed his performance and were bummed out that he was replaced by just ScubaSaul's actor. So, like, it's not a new thing. This happens again and again and again. It's got to a point where, like, honestly, like, it doesn't even bother me. Like, it's just a thing that RGG does every now and then. It's like a routine. And if like, worst comes to worst, we do have the remaster, thankfully, in Yakuza 3's case, which we can fall back onto anytime we want. But I actually want to ask you guys, out of the recasts, which ones do you dislike? Which ones do you like? Which ones are you like neutral on? Let's start with Snowiest.
I really wish that they at least kept the outfits. That's the big thing for me. I don't know why they also changed the outfits, like Hamazaki having his like open popped collar with his gold chain and stuff.
Yeah.
Because Date, basically like when he first describes him, he's like, "Oh, it's just a sleaze bag or whatever." That's appropriate.
Yeah.
But I think Ricky is just like that's not Ricky anymore. That's some other dude. But at least Nakahara, from what you can like hear in the trailer, it sounds like at least his performance will still live up to it. It's just he won't look like him.
Yeah. And what about you, Gokudoni?
I should probably preface this by saying this is the first time that I'll play a Kiwami after having extensively played the original it's based on. So I can't really tell if I dislike some of the changes due to, extended exposure to the old faces, or if it's an actual step down by whatever metric. In my case, Rikia and Hamazaki are probably the big ones that stand out, because, as Snowiest said, it's not just a matter of the face, it's also a very recognizable style. Hell, even the haircut. I wonder if they kept the original haircut for Rikia, would it have been less of a deal here? Because I haven't heard the actual voice acting extensively enough to realize whether or not it's an improvement. But that's, and obviously Kiryu's shirts, they have me fairly split, but I think I'll get used to it in a while.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Froob?
Yeah, I feel very similarly. It's kind of the same as like whenever this happens previously. It's like with when OG2 became K2, I was like really mad about Takashima changing, mostly because of the fact that they took someone in OG2 that I found very interesting because they were more of a young antagonist, even though like you don't fight them or anything. Like they changed him from a young man into an old man. And like I'm glad at least with the recasts for K3 that they're like still relatively around the same age. I feel very similarly. It's kind of like with all the others in the there's going to be things that I like about the recasts, and then there's going to be things that I dislike about the recasts. Like I don't think I'll ever be like massively satisfied. And I think that like even though obviously his actor was used for Yuta again in Yakuza 6, I do think that there is going to be something missing from that Rikia performance. But I have seen his actor in stuff like Tokyo Vice, and I know he can do a good job. It's just that he seems a lot more serious compared to obviously the Ricky that we know that's a little bit bumbling, a little bit out of his like depth, especially when he gets to Kamurocho. So we'll see when we get to that part of the game. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But I am actually really surprised at one person. And this isn't a recast, and that's why I'm surprised. I'm very surprised at Kanda. Because Kanda's actor... Yeah, he did some dealings with the actual Yakuza in real life and disappeared for a while to make a YouTube channel. And I really thought that they wouldn't go back to him because slight infinite wealth minor spoilers. Whenever that game makes reference to Yakuza 6, it goes out of its way to not mention Nagamo, who is the same guy he plays as a face actor. So getting him back for Kanda is like, I'm not unhappy because I think he does an amazing job as Kanda,
Mhm.
but I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I think that one caught me off guard as well. Like on social media, it's like the one thing that you could argue actually pissed people off more because they didn't replace him, but they replaced Rikia and Hamazaki and the other dude. So it's surprising to say the least.
Don't think. Sorry to cut you off, but I
Go on.
don't think I've actually seen anyone be mad over the Kanda recast. Then again, I haven't watched how the Japanese audience interacted with that because I know that the actual person that gave him the voice had already had a prominent,
Mhm.
as of late, a prominent YouTube career. So it's not like he was publicly shunned by nature of the association. So
Mhm.
I don't really know where it stands in that regard.
It's not that I found somebody that was pissed at Kanda being the same. It's that Kanda's the same while others got replaced, you know?
Ah, fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. But on the topic of like changes and recasts, it seems like they're gonna keep Richardson's voice the same, right?
That did sound
Yeah.
like Charles Glover. I really hope so. And like the best part is, you don't have to re-record him.
Yeah.
Just have
Yeah.
him the same in the English and the Japanese dub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
He is perfect. He can't don't change perfection, please.
Literally. And that means we'll also hear the roof as it was meant to be heard.
Yes, that's great. Oh yeah, they also confirmed new cutscenes apparently, which depending on how that goes, that could be okay or it could be disastrous. But you know, just the idea of it, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think about that. So let's start with Froob.
It's fine, it's the Dragon Engine, I can skip it in speedruns. Carry on.
Now you're talking my language. Swear to
An actual
God.
serious answer. I don't mind it. I quite liked K1 with its extra cutscenes for obviously the Nishiki stuff, expanding on a few things there.
Mhm.
I do think that there is this thing about, and I think it doesn't help that obviously the first version of Yakuza 3 I played was the original Western version, where it made out in the localization at the time that the land deal for like the military bill and the resort was the exact same thing. So that was weird originally.
Yeah,
The
true.
remaster fixed that, and then obviously I think having a few extra scenes to kind of expand on the different sides of those, because during the game, one of them kind of just gets dropped because of the whole Yakuza plot.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
I kind of like these ideas of these new scenes because it could expand upon that, which would actually genuinely help a little bit.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts, Gokudoni?
I pretty much love everything that I've seen so far.
Mhm.
Because there was that one with Hamazaki and the Snake Flower Triad, which I think is a really good fit given how, from what I can recall, that whole connection between the two was just kind of exposition dumped at one point, and that was it.
Yeah, I agree.
To kind of allow for them to, go into Kamurocho and all that.
Mhm.
But then you also have Suzuki actually doing something in the story other than being a random political figure.
That you
The
play
whole
golf with.
ominous. Exactly, and it's like, okay, good. He has this at least degree of animosity to
So
him, which makes
that
him more
is-
prominent.
That is supposed to be him then, right? The one that's being rude to Kiryu?
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
no.
Not the
This
one
is
in
when
the
he
new
says,
scene.
I'm
That was
Suzuki.
yeah. That's the younger guy. That's the new guy. The one that's voiced by I
Oh.
think Jameson Price.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so Suzuki is the minister, but then the guy that we
Yes.
played golf with is supposed to be like a headmaster of a school?
Yeah,
No.
that's entirely separate. That's just Shiro getting bullied at school, so we go to the teacher, and then
Right.
the bullying kid calls him an old fart. Great game.
Jesus. Okay, good, because oh my god. With the whole recast, I started mixing things up. Even in the overview of the summit that I've done, I was certain that Suzuki was the one that was held at, I guess not gunpoint, but sword point by the triad. And then looking back, it's like, no, that's a completely different what the anyway,
Mhm.
completely that aside. Also, doing Suzuki as a bit of an antagonistic figure makes Tamiya look even better by comparison. So that's another plus for me.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Also, I think we've even seen some new Mine cutscenes. There was that one
Mhm.
really evident close up on him in the original story trailer. And again, more Mine is always a plus. So yeah.
Yeah, can't argue with that. And what do you think about the idea of new cutscenes, Snowiest?
Well, obviously, the hope is that they don't hinder the story or anything like that, and they're just nice additional cutscenes like
Mhm.
Kiwami ones were.
Yeah.
But it's good that they are doing this because I remember always thinking with Kiwami 2 that a problem with it is just that it's the exact same story as Yakuza 2 in every single way.
Mhm.
There was like no difference, or except for multiple construction minigame. That was it.
Yeah. Well, let me also ask this while we're on this question. This goes for all of you, but can you think of any specific like storyline or plot line or cutscene that you might want to see added? If not, that's fine. Just let's start with Froob.
That's a good question. Because like the problem is, and like I this was one of the things that I was like staunchly against a K3 before, was that with a Kiwami, as you all know, even the ones that have the most egregious changes. So, Chapter 11 of Yakuza 2, the original, there is that district of Sotenbori that is only in that chapter. It's only in that game, I should say, and it's not in K2.
Mhm.
But the plot still moves the exact same way in K2. They just consolidate things. You don't have to play Shogi, for example, to progress the story.
Mhm.
So the story beats are still exactly the same. I expect that to be kind of the same here. And like it's a bit of a frustrating thing because there is genuinely, like, as much as I love Yakuza 3 in the downtime, there is the two chapters that are just spend time with the kids. So
Yeah.
the plot kind of just meanders a bit, and then, as we all know, the plot, chapter 9, woohey. Um, I don't really want anything added to that, but I wonder if they could, like, with some of the new scenes, maybe alleviate how much time you're spending with, the deputy,
Exactly.
in that scene.
Mhm.
Mm.
What about you, Gokudoni?
I honestly can't think of anything that I'd add, because I've seen
Mhm.
some people point out how, for example, the more Rikia-centric sub-stories could have been added, but I have to wonder how that would affect the pacing of the story, specifically because how the return to the orphanage and then dealing with the troubles of the remaining kids kind of derails a story that was really, really well paced once we actually left the
Mhm.
initial orphanage section.
Mhm.
So it's more so a matter of what can we repurpose to be side content, not mandatory side content. I want to be very specific about this, so that the actual flow of the critical path is better. And given that some of these, I think we can see a bit of an elaboration, at least on the political side plot, based off the two cutscenes that we've seen. So
Mhm.
maybe that Tamiya info dump will be shorter, but then that will ruin the meme, so I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah, it has a legacy status to uphold.
Exactly.
What about you, Snowiest? Anything you can think of that you want to add in terms of cutscenes?
Yeah, I agree with what Froob was saying because I was thinking the same thing. Where I kind of hope that there's more like Black Monday cutscenes or whatever
Mhm.
that basically explain what Tamiya explains, but just in a visual way instead of it just literally he just talks at you.
Yeah.
Because then it would enhance the experience because it's like you're still getting the exact same amount of plot, but you're just getting it in a way better way.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that as well. But that also means more Andre cutscenes, right? Which I'm also down for.
Of course. Maybe he'll tell us that he likes karaoke or something.
Oh,
And then he winks at
yes.
the camera.
Ah,
Is that a
good
Yakuza
callback.
Online reference? Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll say one day he wants to become a bartender.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, that one is going to be mixed, I think.
That's one of the things I actually want to ask you all, because this is something that I've been going back and forth on a lot.
Hmm.
Speaking of new scenes, do you explain stuff we didn't see after the ending, aka a certain bartender or two surviving?
Honestly, I kind of
Because-
hope they don't touch it at all.
Same. I think there is a good, like, I know people want, changes and to understand, how did people survive off roofs or helicopters,
Mhm.
but I kind of just want the mystery to be there. I think there is a slight issue with modern RGG explaining too much or going back and explaining things that don't need to be explained or touched.
Mhm.
So I kind of hope they don't actually say anything about that and just keep it as it is.
Yeah. I I see where you're coming from, and I think I do agree. I wouldn't mind if they just have the same ending. They don't show anything like down the building. Just keep it the same.
Yeah, same.
I sort of thought though with the the helicopter minigun segment.
Oh yeah,
Yakuza 3 is like 20 years old. Can I spoil it? Is that all right?
yeah. Go ahead.
We all know it anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna say when Kashiwagi gets shot, I sort of thought something that they could do is instead of just changing that cutscene, literally just make it so that it's like you can sort of see he only got shot a little bit, because I realized when I was rewatching that cutscene recently that Kiryu just avoided everything. He was completely fine. And so they could just say that like, oh, he lost a lot of blood and passed out or something.
Yeah.
Or, not actually say it, but just sort of imply it by showing that he didn't get completely mutilated by a minigun, because,
Yeah.
that would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I think they
Because then at
addressed
least Kashiwagi would be,
Sorry, go on.
a bit more sensible in 7. But yeah, that's all.
What are you going to say, Gokudoni?
I think I'll need to rewatch them back to back. Like, I was just on Twitter and someone pointed out how apparently in the K3 iteration of it, it looks like not a single bullet hit Kashiwagi. So I'm not sure if the actual animation was the same in the original or if it's one of those kind of semi-retcons.
Excuse
in
me.
the case of him, no, I don't know. I'll need to look it up.
Excuse me.
I'll send
He
it in
parries the
Discord.
bullets.
No, it was
What?
literal. It felt like, sway. He didn't move, but at the same time, none of them appeared to hit him. There was no blood splatter. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, so I've seen it too.
Oh, boy.
With you saying sway and with how sometimes modern RGG changed things, all I got in my head was an image of Kashiwagi doing the Neo and dodging everything.
Yeah,
No,
he
I
evades
thought he
bullets
would-
like the protagonists can.
I just
He's
thought
just sitting
he
there
would go
dodging.
full- Yeah, that. Like fucking Wesker in 5. I thought he would just do that.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting if they do change it. Is there anything you guys want to say about like story, cutscenes, and all that, or should we move on to the combat? Okay, let's move on to the combat. All right. So we've got a small glimpse of what the combat looks like. So Kiryu is going to have 2 styles. One of them is, of course, Dragon of Dojima. The other is a new addition that is centered around Okinawan like weapons, and I'm 100% sure it's going to tie in with Yonashiro, the Afro dude that in the original game teaches you
forgot
how
about
to
him.
use. Yeah, well, he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
going to
those
teach
weapons.
you how to use the weapons.
That makes
My
sense.
fear is they're going to cut him because of this. I'd be
No,
very
they can't.
upset.
I'd be surprised.
It would be great if like certain weapons in that style are locked until you learn from Yonashiro.
Yeah,
Mm,
because
they-
apparently you can switch between like what 5, 8 weapons, from what I heard.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I do like how the default stance kind of just looks like Captain America. He even has like a shield throw. One thing I do not like from what I've seen is the well, I mean, there was some Pirate Yakuza as well, but I don't know if they're trying
what
to
you gonna say?
simplify. Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to simplify the heat system or what, but there's only one heat bar.
Why do they do that?
I don't know.
I wonder if they're trying to make it a bit more faithful to the original 3, but even 3 had the extra segments, didn't it?
It
Like
did.
you could get
Yes.
extra segments.
Yeah, even
Hmm.
OG2 had like extra segments.
Yeah.
So I guess this is more faithful to like what OG1, but like OG1
Yeah.
also had like one segment.
It's just so weird to me, because I remember thinking this in Pirate Yakuza 2. It's like you can drink, a bit of alcohol and then the gauge just fills up instantly. Like it was pretty easy to get it back up. But
Mhm.
they have Gaiden, where you have a billion bars of heat, you can get the War God Talisman super easily. And then there was the whole thing with where you're in like extreme heat, there's no heat action cooldown. You just spam it over and over again.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh, that's so cool. I can just have fun and just be silly with all these heat actions and whatever. And then they go, no more heat actions for you.
Yeah.
Give you 1 bar and that's it. Deal with it.
Yeah, like man, it just bums me out because like just heat related stuff in general was one of my favorite aspects of combat, and I don't know if
same.
they're going to do stuff to like make up for it, but I would hope so.
I wonder if it's a kind of way to balance it, because I feel like, and I don't know if this is just because I'm quite in tune with like speedrun stuff, I
Mhm.
feel like heat actions, especially over the last couple of Dragon Engine games, have been extremely powerful.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Mm.
just I wish they'd like give you the multiple heat bars and just like cut the damage on heat actions a bit.
Yeah.
But like, it really feels like they're overtuned a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know what you mean.
that's always been a bit of a tightrope act for them. Because compare it to something like Ishin, where the damage output was well, you can imagine. But with this one, at the very least, if they included something like, because in Gaiden you obviously had some amulets that would decrease the amount of heat that is being drained, at least in EX heat, and obviously you had the talisman. And in Pirates, technically, you could get that one ring that would help you out and give you infinite, but it's like, at least giving a second bar. It didn't really hit me until I replayed Pirate Yakuza, where it was like, oh yeah, we only have maybe 20 plus heat actions, and
Yeah.
everything seems a bit like the actual acquisition rate is better than in Gaiden by a bit. But even then, I don't know. Maybe it's another one of those cases where I think a lot of these decisions stem from a creative choice that's done by the lead battle programmer or something like that. Because
Hmm.
it seems to be the through line between some of the more divisive combat systems that we've had over the years, like Ishin Kiwami and Gaiden and Pirates. So if he's in charge in K3, that might be a personal choice, because a different person was in charge of LJ and Infinite and Kaito files.
Well, I felt like the Kaito files had a similar design philosophy, but then again, you know, at least they do have like the multiple heat bars and all that. But in terms of heat actions, like there was a lot of situational ones in the Kaito files. Like you had to be in low health or, you know, what have you. I remember the only one I think where you could do it anytime was the one where you block in what was it, bruiser or tank, the blue style, and then you get
that was
hit.
tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was pretty simple to do.
Yeah, I also kind of liked. It's a bit of a tangent. I kind of liked Kaito Files' way of unlocking moves, where you had to like, do certain like, finish an enemy while they're in the sky, etc. Like, just meant you like kind of played in a specific way for a little bit, like tried to explore a couple of things.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, definitely. Like I do like how that encouraged, that you go out and search for stuff. I just really wish.
'cause
Yeah, go on.
I think we found it yesterday on the speedrun Discord.
Ooh.
Yeah, the power up system, the level up system looks very similar to Gaiden again. Let me drop the picture in the thing.
There's a second currency.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Two currency thing.
Yeah. There's points and there's
Which one-
money as well. So,
That one's not that bad because the points kind of act like actual XP, and then the money you can earn from other ways.
Yeah.
So that way, it's like you have to engage in multiple things instead of it just being you can just do mini games and level up.
I think
Like
It's-
like in Zero.
It's
The
an interesting
problem-
looking level up screen as well, because you've got stats as their own thing, and then there's
Yeah.
like an almost tree with on the left side you've got your Dragon and Dojima, on the right side you've got your Ryukyu style. And the nice thing is that move that you can see on the picture there also says the word taunt. When was the last time we had taunt? Lost Judgment, right?
No, we had it in Gaiden as well.
we had it
Really?
in Pirate Yakuza, but it didn't do anything.
I think it's all three.
Yeah, that's right. It did nothing in Pirate Yakuza.
Yeah.
Huh. Damn.
Six got rid of it. Six
Yeah.
didn't have it. But Kiwami
Oh,
2
yeah,
brought it
16
back.
have it. Yeah. I don't
So
know.
hold
I'm
on. Here it also says you can add phone straps to your phone, which boosts your battle abilities. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that must
so
be like equipment,
Ah.
right?
Maybe.
yeah, kind of. It's in one of the written previews, because for those, obviously the day that we're doing this is like almost the day after the summit. So there's a bunch of like previews that have come out. So we've seen like a little bit of extra stuff on it. One of them that I read, where is it? Additional changes include a Segway-like scooter to zip through cities. So awesome. That's back. A phone charm system that Kiryu can use to pick from various perks, including health regeneration, hit stun prevention, etc. So
That's-
Okay.
I guess it's kind of like the rings, but as phone charms.
Yeah.
It's RE4 remake, literally.
That's kind of cute, not gonna lie. I'm kind of all for it.
Yeah, that
I
sounds like
am-
it's going to be hilarious to see them. He pulls out his phone and it's just a billion things attached to it.
Dude, if they add this system and there's no revelations, we riot, bro. Like, what's the point?
Yes. If
Okay.
they
Yeah,
remove
sure.
Mac, I'm gonna be angry.
yeah.
What if Mac gives you the phone and a couple of stickers?
Yes, please.
Hell yes.
Oh,
Please.
true.
Pokemon style. Here's a phone and a couple of starters.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we already know the biker gang stuff is once again doing a few old friends.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've all seen that
They can't
one
help themselves.
picture. That one picture of the Obitarian, right? She looks so disproportionate. It's not even
Oh,
funny, bro.
Yeah.
Granny Longlegs, as we call her now.
I somehow missed her the first time around, and then when we were rewatching the trailer, I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't
no.
see. I did see Gondawara though. Again.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now he kind of fits. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll take him over the Obitarian any day of the week.
I'm
Okay.
afraid you'll take both.
Yeah.
No. Like the moment that I saw the Obitarian, I could just imagine Leon. There's a disturbance. No.
No, my chat was like, Leon, we see the Obitarian over there.
Hilarious.
Oh, God.
I wanted to say as well, just real quick, I didn't see this when I first saw this photo of the skill tree, but thank Christ, I've just noticed there's like a scroll wheel. I thought it was just going to be the skill tree is like 6 abilities, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I first
8
saw that, I
upgrades.
wanted to just cry. I was just thinking like Pirate Yakuza made it look like they had like 150 upgrades or something, and then it turns out they had like 12.
Yeah, for real. Half the upgrades are just like the stat ups.
Oh,
so just pirates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, can
That's
we
definitely.
just?
I
Sorry,
was gonna say,
go.
it's definitely a thing in Gaiden and Pirate Yakuza. Like, they definitely like keep mixing those in. Whereas, like, when they had those for like Lost Judgment, they had their own page and they also had like multiple upgrades inside of them.
Mhm.
Like, that's why I think that Lost Judgments works really well.
To kind of bounce off that, just a question: have any of you in any one of your playthroughs of either Gaiden or Pirate, have you ever bought all of the EX either health upgrades or attack upgrades?
I think I did. Why?
I have no idea how broken you can get, because for me it already became a bit uncomfortable. Like, not even taking the equipment into account, the amount of damage that I was doing was like, wait, this feels wrong. So I don't think I've ever purchased either an EX health or EX attack upgrade, just heat.
I'm pretty sure if you max your attack, and if you also have attack accessories, one heat action might erase like a boss, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, we're basically in muscle soda territory. So
Yeah.
I have to wonder, will they just cut it here so that you don't have to, I don't know, preemptively limit yourself so that you don't break the combat system, or at the very least include some gear that just decreases your attack by a disturbing amount, but increases your
I
defense
wish you could
or
like
something.
refund purchases.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Yeah, that
Wait.
would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said they added that. I was like, oh my god, no way.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah,
if
it'd
only.
be nice if they could, because obviously,
Yeah.
you know, for people like you guys, just I don't want to be overpowered or whatever. I can like limit myself, but then it's also just, oh, whoops! I accidentally bought the thing that heals more health when you eat at a restaurant. Get that shit out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Buy something else.
That was
So-
a lost judgment, right? Like you had that, but he couldn't eat indefinitely, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
was
I think
weird.
they removed Bottomless Stomach, which was in Judgment. I remember because I routed that into the speedrun for all sub stories.
Once again,
I think
2
Judgment
steps
was the
forward.
first game to.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Judgment. I think was the first game to add the like more health healing at a restaurant thing.
Yes.
But then
I
it's
think
like you eat a unique item at a restaurant and you get SP. So you're just limiting the amount of SP you can get for no reason.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
And although Judgment also added the absolutely useless, hey, smoke here and get your SP back. Oh yeah, I'm just going to
Oh,
become
bro.
an absolute chain smoker.
Wonderful.
I guess if you really want to be immersed in like a VR headset or something, I don't know.
Or you can wave at your friends and get like 1% of your heat gauge back.
Oh my god, wait, was that one of your thumbnails where it said friendship is worthless?
Friendship is worthless. Yep.
Fucking brilliant video.
But yeah, kind of going back to like the equipment stuff. Like obviously in the speedruns, we make a lot of use of equipment because of the fact that it's a quick way to get that attack up. And you saying that like certain equipment pieces make you like overpowered in like, you know, Pirate Yakuza and Gaiden. Yeah, very much so. The interesting thing is equipment stuff has been changing so much. You've heard me say before, I have a big pet peeve with RGG recently where it's like, if you equip this ring, your attack goes up by 360. 360 what? Compared to what?
Thank you.
What are we talking about
Yeah,
here?
yeah, true.
Lost Judgment had percentages. That worked. Can we go back to that? Because that makes sense. Have a ring that increases my damage by 4%. Cool, I know what that is. But the interesting thing is, even the equipment stuff has been changing a lot. In Pirate Yakuza, I'm fairly confident, because we tried to route a lot of equipment, there is only one piece of equipment that ups your attack whilst dropping your defense, which is the Gaia ring, which acts like the charismatic photo because it makes everyone more aggressive in fights. But in the speedrun for Pirate Yakuza, we buy 5S rings because they're cheap and they give you like 200, whatever that means, like attack, and you can just equip those. In Gaiden, we drop our attack to, I think it is minus 2,400, which means that even on easy you get free shot by any boss, and that increases our attack by over 3,000, so that we one-shot them. Like
that's crazy.
Kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's a complete glass cannon build, and you can do that, and it's kind of nice that you can do that, but it also is very overpowered. So equipment at the minute, like, it didn't feel like equipment was too overpowered in Lost Judgment. And the nice thing about Lost Judgment's equipment was like everything was quite unique in ways. Like you had like stuff that would like, you know, increase your attack below your defense, or, you know, increase your defense and like give you a little bit of heat generation, or like a little bit of HP regeneration, and even stuff like it. Like I really like Lost Judgment, the different like status effects that could happen. And like they had some things like you won't get dizzy anymore. Like it's really cool. Like I kind of miss. I keep going back to this. I miss a lot of what Lost Judgment did. Like
I miss Lost Judgment.
Yeah.
Snowiest, don't try. Judgment 3 is not happening, bro.
God. Jesus, someday. When Nagoshi returns after he finishes this game that he's doing with NetEase, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Man, what a shame.
But yeah, also,
Yeah.
I hate the RPG bits where you're right electrocuted, or you're dizzy, or you're blah blah blah. Can we just tone those down at the very least? Because you had them in Gaiden, you can also remove stun, removes blah blah blah. Can we just cut them?
Yeah, I think we all remember. It doesn't matter if you played the original, but I think we all remember Ladishin with the introduction of those new giant enemies that love, and like even post patch, even when they said they fixed them, throwing those goddamn paralysis knives constantly again and again and again.
That just makes me think of the move. Which game was it again? Was it Lost Judgment where they throw sand at you? Like fucking hell, I hate that move.
Blind you.
Yeah,
Especially on
the
the
Gaiden as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it in Gaiden, but you don't get blinded, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
just like
just
slightly
get stunned.
stagger.
Yeah, get stunned. I was going to say that with Pirate Yakuza, something I do kind of hope comes back is that some of the rings gave you like unique abilities, because then it was something that you didn't permanently have. And so it's like a sort of thing of like, oh, do you want more attack, or do you want to be able to have your knives like electrocute enemies or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That being said, though, my ring loadout by the end of the game was like 10 shark rings or something. That gave you like fucking 500 attack.
Goddamn. I like the ring system, and I thought the variety was nice, but I think I still found myself wishing there was a bit more in terms of effects, maybe. I think the model variety was good enough.
Combo speed was cool.
Yes. I think the ring system fit for the whole pirate theme as well, which was really cool. Like they found a way to do equipment in like a very kind of clever way. Whereas like I like having the more traditional stuff for this. And like the phone strap stuff is actually kind of, again, very cute, like the ring thing, because, you know, we know at the time that the game is set, we didn't have smartphones. We had flip phones. And while smartphones can have charms on them, like the little stickers and stuff, and like the little like actual charms to, you know, whatever we don't know them in depth yet, but the actual like stat chain stuff, that's going to be cool. Like it's going to be, like you say, Resi 4, where you'll have a limit to how many you can put on. So we'll see how busted or broken they get.
We forgot to address the elephant in the room. The mixture of old Dragon of Dojima and the new Dragon of Dojima. That's huge.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So it seems like the rush combo, like the light attack, is like new Dragon Engine, but the finishers is old. Wait, did I say Dragon Engine?
Yes.
We know
Dragon
what
Side.
Dragon Engine and Dragon Engine.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have like the hammer blow, the iconic Yakuza 3 hammer blow. I mean, it's not exclusive to
that
Yakuza
was the
3.
first combo they showed off.
Yes,
They know.
They knew. I also saw like the what was it called? The full combo, basically, where you do like the kick and then the other kick and then you flip.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
pretty interesting. Like the combat this time around, I mean, I know it's easy to just comment on what we see, but it genuinely does look more fun than, it's not a high bar, but Kiwami 2.
Yeah, it's like I personally feel like there's not been in any of the Dragon Engine games a proper traditional Kiryu style in full. Like
Mhm.
I think Gaiden was getting close to Yakuza style, but it feels like Dragon and Dojima light still. It doesn't feel like it goes like in depth enough
Mhm.
compared to like how it was in like the older engine.
Mhm.
But like I'm kind of happy here there's only the two styles, and I'm happy that one is just Dragon and Dojima. Because like as you said, and as we've seen, a lot of those combos had a lot of different older combos. Like a lot of people will say in the comments as well, there was a beast combo. There was a full beast combo. But showing Hammerhook first is beautiful. And one of the other things I really like about the new combat, they look like they're adding weight to attacks. Like you noticed and pointed it out as well, where like sometimes when you slam an enemy into the ground, like the ground shatters. Or when you kick an enemy, there's like these really cool wind effects.
Yeah.
Like it really feels like they want to add like a little bit of feeling of weight to these attacks. I kind of like that a lot.
I do as well. Yeah, that is a good thing to bring up. Also, have you seen how, man, there was footage of like Kiryu doing like a running kick on a floor enemy, and oh my god, the dude went to freaking Sotenbari with that kick.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's default or if that's with a phone strap.
Oh, that's
now
a
that
good
we
point.
know that phone straps exist.
Yeah,
Could
be.
It could, because Mine does a kick, I think, and he like kicks them, they fly into the wall, and then they get wall splattered like it's Tekken.
Wait, as in like wall bounding and shit, like when you send them to the wall, or
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I wonder if that's going to come into play that often, because if I remember right, Lost Judgment had, in quotes, wall bounding, but it didn't really do much, I think. What else do we have in terms of... Oh, yeah. I was going to mention the way the new heat actions work, I guess. It seems like they're trying to make them even more seamless, but I thought they were like the pirate Yakuza counters, you know what I mean? Like the...
Right.
What were they called? Perfect counters? Like the really fancy-looking ones?
Yeah, after a perfect guard. I don't know what the technical term for it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was looking at initially, but it seems like it's a heat action, because there's one video, I might show it up here, but somebody's playing and they do one of these moves and it does consume all of the heat bar. So I don't know if like most of the heat actions are going to look like that, or if it's just like a few moves. Maybe it's not even a heat action. Maybe it's just like a move that consumes heat, for all we know. But
I think they're trying to like mix a blend of like normal heat moves and like more seamless heat moves, because there is like a video of like someone grabbing a guy and then you do the face plant like you have in Yakuza 3.
Yeah.
So I think there is going to be a mix, and I'm kind of interested by these newer dynamic heat moves, to say. Like again, what would have been cool is if you had like a multi heat bar where, you know, that one would have taken like less heat, for example, the ones in the middle of the combos. But yeah, instead it just takes all of it, like you said.
I mean, they can still patch it in. We're still a couple of months away from release.
It's true.
Those white glowing unblockable attacks as well are also in the game, because I saw someone fighting Kunda and he does one.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm assuming like perfect guarding and doing those special counters is still in the game as well.
Yeah.
We are the Blakuza now.
Yeah.
One thing I do hope they keep is the feel the heat system, because it made bosses feel personal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that mechanic.
It's more like Kiwami 2, though, where they actually die instead of Yakuza 3, where they can live.
Oh, right.
Why not? Why not? What were you going to say, Gokudoni?
I have no idea.
What is there anything else you guys can think of in terms of combat that we haven't covered yet?
Wait, bounding throws.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's also the classic ones.
Yeah, but they seem to be locked to whatever the new name for EXE it is, Dragon's Awakening or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
that thing's gone under so many names, like Dragon Heat, Dragon EX, Dragon
X-Heat.
Spirit, Dragon's Balls. Like, what's going on?
Dark Awakening, Ball Awakening.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it really is locked behind heat, I want to talk to the guy who locked it behind heat, because it's.
Yes.
I mean, you should be able to use it outside of extreme heat mode, just like it consumes heat, because that's the way it's always been. And I mean, I get changing things can keep things fresh sometimes, but this is one of those changes where you question, like, okay, do they know what they're working with here?
It was like that in Gaiden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. No, was it Gaiden?
And-
Yes,
and-
yes, yes. It was Gaiden.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
and
sure it is. Yeah.
I think the general consensus behind that was that it was kind of dumb. So I'm glad that they just, don't care.
So they just removed it outright, no bonding throws, and then now we're back.
Yeah. Any other concerns you guys can think of in terms of combat? Because my head is empty.
Just the usual. I mean, obviously we've seen in a lot of this is a more Dragon Engine thing, and I guess again it's because I'm more attuned to speedrun stuff. But like picking up two-handed weapons and swinging them is just so overpowered, but it is good fun. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I quite like less of a concern and more of a happy thing. One of the bits of combat that we saw was when Kiryu grabbed one of the enemies and like threw him behind him on the ground. That
Mhm.
felt quite
Yeah.
quick. That
Yeah.
felt quite snappy. I quite like that.
It had impact as well. Like,
Yes.
if it looked like it would be pretty good to use.
Yeah. So I'm hoping they do some interesting things with throws because of that.
Same. All right. Well, I guess we can just move on to the side content now, which we've seen quite a few of. I think the first one they've shown was the biker gang thing, which seems like it's a combination between the pirate ship stuff and clan creator, that kind of deal. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling, I think, just meh on this. It might be fun, but I still need to see like how exactly it's going to play out. What about you guys? Let's start with Froob.
Yeah, I'm similar to that. When we saw the bikes, I think all of us immediately like had a flashback to Lost Judgment's biker minigame, and like that minigame is Marmite. You either like it or you do not like it.
Mhm.
And it's like, at first I thought, all right, we're gonna do this again. But then they showed Kiryu doing the Akira slide into some enemies, and then they show like a car just driving over people with fire, and then everybody with rocket launchers. And I kind of like that. Just
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a wild out there new kind of side content, just go ham with it. Like
Mhm.
just have fun. Like just make it weird, ridiculous, and just go over the top with it like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like I think it could be quite good, but like you, I'd also do want to see the structure of it, because that's going to be the new mini game that you have to do in the story at some point. We all
Mhm.
know it.
Yeah. It probably will be that forced piece of side content. I just hope they don't like shove it down your throat, for lack of a better expression.
Oh my god,
Hello,
what if
Don
they
Docker.
replace golf with this?
Oh,
Because we haven't seen golf yet.
We haven't,
Oh.
yeah. We haven't. We still don't even know if it's going to be part of the story, which, it wasn't the original.
I think one of the settings actually used the high school from LJ as well, like for the actual
Yes.
battle. So what if it's a matter of, oh, hey, you're being bullied at school anyway, let's go to a random school.
Yeah. I just hope it's like more fun than the ship battles, because I did enjoy the ship battles to an extent, but I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's like accurate to say that it felt just a bit extra for me.
The problem with the ship battles is they start very basic and they don't evolve. Like what I played at the preview event before the game came out, I expected when the game came out we'd be getting more weapons than that. It would be a bit more expanded upon, but
Mhm.
that was like a full powered up ship, which like obviously you can get like a few different weapons, but it feels very similar. Like there's no increases to like the boat's speed or like outside of the weapons, no like damage stuff. So it's kind of just like when you start with the gameplay of the ship stuff, the gameplay doesn't evolve.
Yeah.
It's just the same the entire way through. And for Pirate Yakuza, it's a main component of the gameplay of Pirate Yakuza. So it's a bit of an issue.
Is there anything specific you guys are hoping from the biker minigame?
Not
Anybody
really.
can start. Okay, well, yeah. I mean,
Maybe,
again, yeah, go on.
maybe, because I'm not sure if he can actually. There was one shot that implied that Kiryu can actually drive the bike in combat, at least in those clan creator-esque bouts. If
Mhm.
that's possible, yes.
Yeah, that would be cool. I got the
I wonder if that's
impression.
like an intro to the fight, like he'll get off, or if you can actually drive around in that fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering about.
I thought it might have been the intro as well, like Froob said.
Ah.
But I mean, you could be able to write it for all we know. So I guess we'll wait and see. Aside from the biker gang stuff, we also had the orphanage, which a lot of people were happy about because Dad Kiryu, and you have a whole bunch of activities you can do. So, for example, you can, I think, cook for the kids. You can do sit-ups with Tai Chi, which was amazing. Might be a couple other things that I'm not remembering right now, but he can basically bond with the kids, maybe get to know more about them. And yeah, what do you guys think of what we saw? Let's start with Froob.
Yeah, that is the big thing I wanted from a K3. And the nice thing is, like, for anyone worried about it, because the orphanage stuff does the orphanage stuff that's in there in Yakuza 3 does take away from the pacing, because like there are 3 different chapters, 3, 4, and 10, where you deal with 3 of the kids each time, and then Haruka in 10. So it's like that does just take away from the plot. And as Gokudoni said earlier, that was when the plot was ramping up, was chapter 10. Like you go back to Okinawa and it just stops. But the nice thing about the new orphanage stuff is they say that it is side content. But I kind of wonder, even though it's side content, I wonder if they could move some of it from the main game to the daily orphanage stuff. I'm happy with it though, because like I said, if there was ever to be a K3, go more with that stuff, because the thing about Yakuza 3 that makes it special is the orphanage stuff. And like I really hate when a lot of people say that Yakuza 3 is like one of the least important games of the franchise, especially when stuff like Gaiden and Infinite Wealth constantly throw back to the orphanage. Like, it's such an important part of Kiryu that having this like optional side thing to expand greatly on it, I like that. I'm so happy with that.
Hell, every single game from 3 onwards mentions the orphanage in some way or another in relation to Kiryu's mental state and how he's doing. It's very central to his character.
It's like, without going into the 200 hours of Yakuza 5, it's such an interesting difference between Kiryu with the picture of the orphanage at the start of his part of Yakuza 5, where he doesn't have the picture because he doesn't want to be reminded of those times, and then Haruka, who just has the picture constantly up and, thinking about the kids and stuff. Like, it's such an interesting thing that affects so many of these characters in these games, especially Kiryu and Haruka. That's why it's so important.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts of the orphanage stuff, Gokudoni?
It feels like everything that was introduced, okay, not everything, but vast portions of, let's say, Dondoko, like the swimming, the bug catching, or Goro's kitchen in Pirate, or hell, even Ishin's farming. It feels like all of them were introduced to eventually maybe benefit a Kiwami 3, because they all feel tailor-made for this game. So, like, everything that I've seen so far is really, really cool. I'm not sure how extensive it will be, if it will impact the platinum journey, which I'm kind of dreading, considering how the past Kiwamis all required 100%.
I was going to say, please no.
But as far as the content itself goes, like, I love it. Out of all those, I was probably hoping the most to have Dondoko Island style swimming, so that you can actually, traverse the beach next to the orphanage.
Yeah, swimming there would be nice. I mean, you have this whole sea, and you're telling me we can't swim in there? Would be nice to have that. And what do you think of the whole orphanage stuff, Snowiest?
Yeah, basically what Froob said. And if, like, some of the compulsory things of having to, go sort out Shira's bullying, or like when Taichi had the allergy or whatever, if that sort of stuff is like toned down and there's less of it, but there is still an incentive to go interact with the kids and go spend time with them and stuff, I think that's great, because then it makes it feel more personal. It's like, I'm not talking to you because I have to. I'm talking to you because I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can we talk about how utterly hilarious it is that host Kiryu did not happen in Kiwami 2, but Kiwami 3?
I know it's part of the sub-stories. And now that we know the boutique is in Kiwami 3 as well, that's obviously going to be a reward. But you cowards, bring back Club Adam. How dare you?
If it's just called Club Adam and Kiwami 3 as well, that would be more insult, or sorry, more Wait, do you say insult? Assault to the wind.
Insult
Thank you.
to injury.
Yeah.
But wait, wasn't that actually Stardust? I've only seen very, very small snippets of it. It looked like the interior of Stardust, where we would be hosts.
I didn't notice. I might
have
put
no
a picture
idea
though.
anymore.
I might put a
Yeah.
picture. But yeah,
like
I wonder if that's a sub story or like a whole side content piece. What were you gonna say, Gokudoni?
I hope. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird considering how I'm usually against original content being cut from the original. But Hostess Maker, yes, this can replace it wholesale. Just please don't make me go through that thing again.
Yes, I
I've
agree.
said this many times. Like, Yakuza 3 can cut a third of its sub stories. Like, you don't need a sub story attached to every mini game. You don't
I
need
agree.
20 heart hostesses.
I
And, like,
agree.
Oh, yeah.
I think some people will disagree or agree with this. RGG has the easiest layup of all time, and I think because they didn't confirm it in the previous trailer, they won't do this. Cut Hostess Maker. Take those hostesses that require 20 hearts and just bring Cabaret back. I know
Yeah.
not everyone likes Cabaret, but it's a lot better than Hostess Maker in 3 was.
I agree.
Fair.
Easily. I
But
mean,
yes,
heck,
also host Kiryu. Also, yes, please, please. Club
Yeah.
Adam.
yeah, that's gonna
think-
be interesting. I also
Thinking back
noticed
to it-
there's
Sorry,
I know-
go.
I noticed there's a thing where you can make friends again, like on the phone or something.
Yes.
Like Infinite Wealth.
Oh,
yeah,
data sharing.
I don't know how that's going to differ, but it seems like it might have something more to it. Time will tell, I guess. But none of us know anything about it, do we?
No, it's like you say, it just brings up the thing at the top right. It's like, yeah, you made friends with this person again. It's like, is that gonna, like, in Infinite Wealth, as you all know, in Pirate Yakuza, the reason to do that is to also bolster your personality trait stuff, which
Mhm.
isn't in K3. So, are there going to be tangible reasons to make friends with people?
Yeah.
Or are we going back to Snowiest again and saying friendship is useless?
There was an incentive as well in Infinite Wealth where K at the Survive bar would
Yes.
give you... Wait, was it Survive? No. Revolve.
Revolve, yeah.
Yeah.
Too many bars, too many bartenders.
Yes. Can't wait to have the third one, so I mix them up even more. Right. Is there anything else we want to talk about with Kiwami 3 before we move on to the Mine Gaiden, or is that it?
Ooh, bowling?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bowling, guys?
Yeah.
Anyone want to go bowling?
I know
Bowling
Leon
is
doesn't
back?
particularly care about the bowling. I remember that minigame tier list.
Look,
Yes.
here's my opinions on bowling in the Yakuza games. I just like bowling in real life. That's it.
Fair. Completely fair.
I'm just glad they brought it back. More stuff.
Yeah. It's just
Right.
nice to see something that was gone for a while come back.
All because I've been asking for like 4 years. That's the only reason, I promise.
They finally heard your prayers.
Yeah.
Oh, also the photo booth from K1. For whatever reason, you can shrink Hideo's head.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
The filters.
I'm curious because like this, they usually do them a bit close to reveal. I wonder what new M3 arcade games we'll get now. Now that we're really going into M3
Oh, yeah, true.
arcade, like I'm really curious what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I guess, I mean, hopefully time will tell, because we still have like 5 months, give or take.
yes, they're also like they haven't said anything about expanding or changing like the map of Ryukyu.
Mhm.
But there is actually one big change you can see in the trailers, and it's not like a huge thing. But in Ryukyu Original, you've got the supermarket down the bottom where you fight Ricky originally. That's still there.
Yeah.
You have one at the very top on the corner near the club where you go and meet Tamiya's aide. But in the trailers for K3, you can see there's a new Popo right next to the monorail that goes back to or to Morning Glory. It's across from where the
Oh.
Mahjong camp is.
Oh, nice.
So they're making some changes to the map, but obviously until we see like in-game, we're not going to see all of them. But they are doing at least a little bit.
I
I
kind
kind
of...
of hope they expand the map a tiny bit. I'd love it to be a bit bigger, especially if, as that one preview said, they bring back the Street Surfer, because the map isn't really big enough to need the Street Surfer. Kamurocho, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of is, and it's kind of nice just to have it, but it is also just, you don't really need it in Yakuza 3.
Yeah.
And Kamurocho is also really crowded, so you keep bumping into
Yeah.
people.
No, they should make it so that you kill people when you run over them.
You know what? Nice. After that one shot of Kanda just obliterating someone with a car in a Gaiden, yes, keep it back. Oh wait, also they brought back Don Quixote, right?
Did they?
Yeah,
I think I saw a shot of it, at least in Kamurocho.
it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Good.
More copyright infringement. Let's go.
Oh,
It's
hell
so
yeah.
funny that they had like the real life deals for like perfume and stuff with Don Quixote, and yet in the games they just removed Don Quixote. Like, okay. And there was that
Yeah.
one like talk with that side talk with Zhao in Infinite Wealth that's like, there used to be a supermarket here. And we're all looking at him like with the Detective Dokes from Dexter gif of like the fingers pointing at the eyes and then pointing at Zhao. See you.
Yeah. Is there anything else we forgot? Like side stuff? I think that's all right for now.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, one last thing.
Uh-huh.
What if Gatorade's back in that one cutscene?
Nah, just let it go, man. It ain't happening.
Oh my god.
I was
Oh, I
I was
wonder.
dreaming as well, but I think all hope is lost, unfortunately.
No.
I wonder if RGG is going to remember Lost Judgment exists, and we're going to be able to take Mame out for a walk.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah. Kazrampo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I want to be optimistic and say they might be having the same level of what's the word, privacy, I guess, because with Lost Judgment we didn't even know that like the school stories existed at all until we played the game.
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to say, like, I want to be optimistic and say that they're hiding the revelations for now. Maybe that dog walking you mentioned, but I mean, it could also mean the opposite. They just cut them, and we're gonna have to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
They won't remember Lost Judgment. You know, it was the 4th anniversary for Lost Judgment on the day of the summit, and of course,
Oh.
didn't get mentioned at all. You know, it's okay. It's
Oh my
okay.
god.
They mentioned
when
Kurohya though, didn't they? Like a week or two ago, or was that like another website?
I know Famitsu did something for the 15th anniversary, like because it was the day before the summit, or 2 days before the summit, or 3. I
Right.
don't remember anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh my
one of
god!
those.
Wait, when they did that whole retrospective look on the year of the games, and kind of, I thought, okay, maybe they're just focusing on the main lines because they skipped Kenza, Nishin, Detsos, Kuroki-1, Kuroki-2, blah 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
But then, like, you include all the main lines, but then you also include the guidance, which, no, by definition, they are spin-offs. And it's like, what? Why did you omit these games then, but not these ones? And that, I don't know anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all for the Kiwami 3 segment of the podcast. So now we can talk about the main course, or, well, depending on how you look at it. But a lot of people are really looking forward to the Mine Gaiden because it's completely new, never before seen piece of content. So it's not a saga kind of deal. It is a Gaiden. And it's crazy that K3 and this Gaiden are going to be $60 for most people, I think. For me, it's like $55 with regional pricing. But basically the price of a full game before the $70 rise. So they're both going to be the same package. You buy K3, you get this Mine Gaiden, which is, again, crazy to me. Especially if like the Mine Gaiden turns out to be bigger than we think, which from what we've seen, it does have a whole bunch of side content. So I think there's some justification to be like pretty excited about this. Now, in a few sentences, fellas, tell me, what do you think of the Mine Gaiden? Let's start with Froob.
I can't give you my entire thoughts because they're a little bit not safe for work and we'll get the podcast banned. So I'm going to refrain from talking about how goddamn hot that man is. But I'm really happy that that didn't get leaked. Like, obviously, most people know K3 got leaked pre-summit, which I'm also kind of surprised Yokoyama would just say, oh, yeah, we kind of leaked something. Oops.
Horrible at hiding it. You know, every game went on sale except for 3.
Yeah, just like they did with Zero in DC. But yeah, no, this for me is one of the most exciting things because, like, it's not that Yakuza 3's plot is like incomplete, but it was always interesting to me when I was playing for Yakuza 3 how Mine was Kanda's underling because it always felt like it should have been the other way around. So I'm here for the Mine Kanda bromance.
Same.
I'm genuinely excited for this.
Same.
Like, it's Mine has always been one of those like villains that, much like Ryuji, has always been, you know, very, very hyped in like both communities in the West and the East. So, and RGG have said in the past how much they like working with his actor. So I think that this is something that can be very meaningful because there are parts of Mine's background that are genuinely interesting and be worth expanding on.
Yeah, agreed. And what do you think, Gokudoni?
Oh boy, you said in a few sentences, so that's gonna limit me a bit, but
It's okay. It's okay. Just say what you want to say. Just general thoughts.
like, think of it this way. For a lot of people, it was like, oh, I get Kiwami 3 and this bonus. For me, it's the other way around. I'm all about DT actually releasing, because
Mhm.
I've been praising this character for years at this point. So a release like this is just tailor-made for me. But even with that in mind, I'm genuinely shocked that RGG went the route that they seem to be going, between the darker tone, breaking some of Gaiden's previous conventions with the
Hmm.
with the older releases, or even the general edginess, as some people have pointed out in sections of the campaign. It feels like Kiryu's brash beginnings in Zero with regards to their mentality, but in a different decade. So it's like, yeah, can I please play that before? You can give me that a month ahead of time and then K3 a month after.
Yeah, there's a lot about this Gaiden game that just gives us reason to be excited. It's looking really, really fun, and the story is looking to be, well, honestly, maybe saying unlike anything else we've seen would be accurate, because I mean, we technically are playing as, I don't want to say an active Yakuza. We might be playing as Mine before he becomes a Yakuza in this, but this is the first time we might play as somebody that killed a person. Like, you know, I don't mean like Kiryu, oh, he killed like all these people on the highway, but like legitimately, we've seen, you know, Mine like do what he did to, you know, the poor guy, Kanda, right? I think it is the first time.
This so fascinating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they said before, they don't want to like make a murderer like playable or something along those lines, but that's what we're getting now. But maybe they're thinking, oh, this is before he did that, so it doesn't count. I'm not sure. But either way, what are your thoughts, Snowiest?
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to play as Mine for so long. I always thought something they could have done in Ishin Kiwami would be like you
Mhm.
play as Hijikata or something, which is Mine's character.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But with the story, like, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to, if they end up doing it well, to be like, oh, Kanda, my bro, yeah, I love you so much. And then you play Yakuza 3 and you're like, you're a piece of shit. I'm glad you got your head chopped off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But then,
What? Yeah.
oh no, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, imagine they went the route of, oh yeah, we're buddies, and then the more the story progresses, he's like, you're really getting on my nerves. Can I just behead you?
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because something I hope that they don't do with the story is try and like make Mine like sympathetic and be like, oh, you know, he's just misunderstood, and it's like, well, no, because he is evil, and that's
He
like what
is.
makes him so appealing, is that he is just unapologetically evil because he's so dedicated to Daigo that he'll even kill people that Daigo would consider family just because he wants Daigo to himself.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, it's gonna be interesting because realistically, the only games where you've played as a villain is like when you play as Majima, because he was a villain in Yakuza 1, but like 2 minutes after he's a villain, he's a good guy in Yakuza 2. And then
Yeah.
there's Ryuji, who's another villain that you can play as in Dead Souls, but
Mhm.
Ryuji as well is just like, you know, such a humble, nice young man. Mine is just, he's evil. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. What did they call the thing again? His inner darkness, freaking
Dark
anime edge,
awakening.
Dark Lord.
Yeah, Tekken 8 Devil Jin shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna say something that's gonna upset a lot of people.
go on.
Mine is Shadow the Hedgehog.
I mean, he is.
We did,
yeah.
yeah. I did see people saying that.
Oh wait, and Daigo was voiced by Roger Craig Smith. He's
Yeah.
Sonic.
Oh my
there you go.
god.
I guess he was just busy at the time of, what was it, Gaiden? Or which game was it?
Gaiden and Infinite Wealth,
Yeah,
Oh
and then
god.
Parayakuza.
interesting. Right, so I think I already said what I think about the Mine Gaiden, but I am pretty excited. I mean, it is a new piece of content that's actually looking very promising. It's not the Majima saga where like you go in like, oh, it's looking interesting. You have like 5 combat moves, and then 50 minutes later you're done.
Yeah.
This is coming from somebody who does see a tiny bit of value from the Majima saga. Like, I do think it has some interesting things, but I think we can all say, like, compare the Majima saga to like any other Gaiden, or the Kaito files even. But then again, the
Yeah.
one saving grace the Majima Saga has, I was going to say the Majima files, but the one saving grace the Majima Saga has is that it's free. The Kaito files was $30, so it's premium content. If it wasn't good, people would be livid, right?
Yeah.
But the Mine story, first of all, like the premise seems interesting. It seems to actually have like side content, which we'll get into soon. Mine's combat is very good looking. There's two styles, which we're also going to get into soon. But let's talk about the story first of all. So, for those who missed it, or for those who may have seen it, but like recap, the trailer kind of kicks off with like this drunken Mine who is, I think at the time, still like a businessman. He's looking completely different, and he stumbles upon like Daigo in a shootout. So it goes from one scene to another, and the gist of everything is that we get to see how he met Kanda, and we're probably going to see how like some of their misadventures together, like what they went through, how they bonded, and it just seems like it's going to further add some fortification to the character of Mine, and also Kanda. Surprisingly, like I did not ever expect that we're going to get more Kanda content, especially not in the way we're getting it in this Gaiden, but it's looking amazing, to be honest. Like, I didn't know I needed it, but I'll take it. So, let's go through each of you. What do you guys think of the premise? Froob, we can start with you.
Yeah, I love the premise. Again, I said it earlier, I'm here for the Kanda-Mine bromance, even though I don't know how that goes.
Yeah.
But also just it's always nice because like from the final of K3, from the final of Yakuza 3, where you actually, get to listen to Mine and his big speech about like Daigo, and like getting to actually see him like grow around Daigo is going to be interesting. Like knowing what we know. Like,
yeah.
I'm really excited. I genuinely think this has got some potentially really good openings in the story for it to cover. I think there's been problems with certain. I don't want to like say it's like all bad, because I really really do like Gaiden a lot. But like with Gaiden, the problem with Gaiden is it had to kind of follow the line of LAD and match up with like Chapter 12. And like obviously here with Yakuza 3, it's got to match up with Yakuza 3. But because this is stuff mostly set before Yakuza 3, in the events of Yakuza 3, you can actually do a bit more with that, which is nice.
Yeah. And what about you, Gokudoni?
Sorry, I'm still laughing. Can all of you check the messages right now?
Oh yeah, we have to show this.
I was like, I can't laugh out loud at this.
We're just having a grand old discussion here, and Snowiest just sends this shit post out of nowhere.
I had to have my mic muted.
Thank you for blessing us and the viewers with this gift.
the same person who beheaded Kanda, by the way.
Yeah, the same person who beheaded Kanda right there.
Dear God.
It's like the itchy quote. You just start at the bottom and you work your way up.
Well, Gokudoni, what do you think of the premise?
Yeah, anyway, this totally didn't happen. So, the fact that we're playing as an up-and-coming Yakuza, at least on paper, is a really nice change of pace for me. Especially when you consider the writing rules that RGG highlighted a couple of months ago. So, between that and the exchanges that we've seen so far that are really, really in character with what we've seen in Yakuza 3, he's still, he's calm, collected, but he can also snap if necessary. And you see all of that with, I don't know, when he meets Kanda and joins the Yakuza. Anyway, like, everything that I've seen, including the fall from grace, that kind of reminds me of Akiyama's whole, exodus from the banking world. All of that is great. But given that, I believe the very last scene that we see in the DT trailer includes the scene from the Toto Hospital roof, I have to wonder, what if the campaign ends with a fight against Kiryu? And that shows us what actually happened with the two of them after the ending.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's going to be peak.
Oh.
Like,
Let
chances
him
are it's
cook.
not going to happen. Because I think someone said that someone confirmed that Kiryu wouldn't be there. Then again, this is just hearsay, so who knows. But man, would it be good to actually finish a campaign with the Kiryu fight.
Especially,
I'd be down for that.
like, speaking of Gaiden as well, like it felt like we all went into Gaiden expecting, oh, the final boss is going to be your side of Kiryu versus Ichi.
Exactly.
So it would be really cool if they did it this time. But I'm skeptical.
Yeah,
Fair.
same.
Fair.
I would like to see it though. I mean, if it happens, cool. Right. And what do you think about the whole premise, Snowiest?
Well, first of all, I want to say that when he is on the hospital and then they do the like cover art thing, I kind of realized, what if that's like the title screen of him standing there in the pose, and then it's like title screen on the right? You know
That
what I
would
mean?
be awesome.
Ah.
That would
that would be
look super cool, I reckon.
Yes.
And then it's like the Kiwami 3 title screen is Kiryu looking up.
Mm-hmm.
Be peak. Anyway,
That would be great. Yeah.
I think it is a great premise because something I said in my stream when I was watching it is that a lot of the Yakuza games, and like Yakuza 3 for example does this, have these like big shot Tojo clan dudes that just literally appear out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, this is one of the top families of all time. They've been around for decades, and it's like, how have I never heard of them then?
Yeah.
And so this way they can actually show like, how does Mine's family, whatever it's called, get into this top role. Maybe they can show Hamazaki in it a little bit as well, whatever family he's in.
Sorry to interrupt you.
and-
I just thought, if we don't have a cameo in the Mine Gaiden of the Hakuho clan captain, I'm alright. We need to see that son of a bitch.
Oh god.
Go on.
Well, the last thing I was going to say as well, it's like not related to the story, but Yokoyama, I think it was Yokoyama at least, did say like a couple months ago, we're not going to do a protagonist who's in the Yakuza, or we're not going to make a protagonist who's like just a ruthless killer who just kills in cold blood and whatever. And then they do that, and I should go compile a list. Anything Yokoyama ever says is a lie. He just means the opposite. He will say, we're never going to do Like a Dragon 8. And then a week later, they announce Like a Dragon 8. That's like, he does that all the time.
The Ichiban Sayako romance plotline is not going to be an important part of Infinite Wealth. Takes from the start to the end is in the background the entire time.
Dear God, no.
Yokoyama is our own very little Todd Howard, and we love him for it.
Yeah, but it's always hilarious because it's like Todd Howard does it because he's like, oh, I need to sell the game. Yokoyama does it because he's just a bad liar. People are like, hey, how does this game end? And he goes, it doesn't end with you fighting Kawana. Okay.
Still cracks me up. There's that one story I think you guys remember where I think a Japanese fan walked up to him in like a convention asking him like, yeah, the Hanoae thing, right? And Yokoyama said, yeah, that's him. But then the employee with him is like, sir, are you sure we should tell them? Like
he leant over and he said, Hanoae is Morinaga, right? And everyone's like, what? No.
Given what we know about Yokoyama, I feel like that is true.
Jesus. He has so much tongue-in-cheekness in some of the more, public appearances. You'd think that he was either an honorary Aussie or an honorary Brit with the dryness of some of these deliveries.
Where were we? Did Gokudoni want to say something, I think?
I think we went over... Snowiest was going over the thoughts on the premise, I think, and then we went into the Yokoyama bit.
Right. Well, should we get into the combat? So they showed us Mine's combat. There's two styles. Did they give them names? I'm not sure they did.
It's one style. They didn't give it a name, but they're basing it off of boxing. So I'm going to call it boxing. Mine.
They called it.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is apparently boxing, but like you do more like MMA sort of stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
it was in Yakuza 3, it was classified as MMA in the Colosseum. Someone pointed it out to me. I think that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, from what I've seen in the community, more people are excited for Mine's combat than Kiryu's combat, which, fair enough. Like, it looks very, very fun.
Yeah.
He had a whole twist with the jumping. Instead of doing wall jumps, he jumps off of enemies. And I never thought of that evolution, but here we are, I guess.
So glad they brought back something like that.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing how that differs from Yagami's like wall jumps. But yeah, the combat is looking great. I'm very excited for it as well. He seems like he's capable of doing some amazing things in combat. And let's see what the guys here think about all that. Let's start with Snowiest.
I literally said this in the stream I was doing as well. I said a big thing with if they never do Judgment 3 ever again is I hope that they bring forward some mechanics like wall jumping and leapfrogging, and then they're like, how about we combine that into this? And I saw as well, Mine has some Yagami heat actions, like some exclusive to Yagami heat actions.
Ooh.
So, I just, man, just
I get you.
it doesn't have to be Judgment 3, but do Lost Judgment 2, RGG Studio, please.
I'll be praying for you, my dude. What about you, Gokudoni?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, as far as the base moveset goes, clearly a portion of it was lifted from the original boss moveset. Like, there's the whole finishing grab that grounds the opponent, and the fist to the face, or the backflip kick, or the general boxing rush combo. I think there was a couple of other things, but yeah, that one, that's the one. Even with the previews that we got to see the most of, but with the Dark Awakening, I don't think we've seen enough of it, because a lot of people, when they tried it, they just defaulted to the basic ones, and I don't know the extent to how different it will be from the base move set. We obviously see some unique heat actions tied to it, like reverse face grating, I guess, or back grating in this case. So I'm just curious, because the only lament that I have towards this, and this is a pretty far out request considering that this is a Gaiden game, that Mina technically had 4 styles, or at least 4 heat states in the original boss fight. So I have to wonder if they just took the remaining 3 styles and kind of combined them into this EX Heat-esque thing, or if it's just a completely different thing.
It does beg the question, right? Like, is his boss form going to have a different moveset, or is it going to be different in any way? Or is it just going to be the styles that we have in his Gaiden? Yeah.
I completely forgot that he's still going to be the final boss.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what they do with the movesets there. Is there anything you wanted to add, Gokudoni?
Well, we haven't seen some of the, like, I assume that some of the things we've seen in K3 will also be here, like perfect dodges, perfect guards, and so on, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm also in the camp of being more excited over this. Then again, I have been a Mina simp for a while, so maybe that's that.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Froob? What do you think of the combat of Mine?
Yeah, just very similar to what has already been said. I quite like how visceral it is, whilst also seemingly quite agile. Like, there's a couple of moments where kind of Mine snaps back at the enemy that's behind him that you can't see off screen, and like he goes perfectly towards them, and with like quite a bit of distance as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It really feels like he's got like a very up close, like get in your face kind of style, and I actually really like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm interested in how the Dark Passenger is going to be. Like they say that's like an entirely new style. We've seen that there is it's an activation that you charge up, and there's like 3 like hearts instead of like a heat bar, I believe it is, under Mine's health bar, and then like depending on how much you use, I guess that's for how long it lasts for, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see how that kind of works out and how different that is. But I saw when he was like, when he used his dark arts, that it was very much like an enemy hit him and he didn't flinch. So you get like a mass amount of like hyper armor and stuff. You literally become the Yakuza free enemies. It's great.
Yeah, true.
So I'm really interested to see how they kind of blend together, and just I'm excited.
One thing that really stood out to me that I think gave off the best like unhinged Mine kind of vibe is the one that Gokudoni mentioned, the head grate on the ground. That felt pretty visceral. Like it looked amazing.
Very similar to Kiryu's face grate in Yakuza 5. But
I was going to say Kiryu did it first.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my god, imagine Kiryu sees that heat action, he goes, "That's rad," and then
That's rad, yeah.
I think
there's a lot. This actually is the same with K3 as well. When we mentioned the hammer hook, but also with Mine's combat, there does look like there's kind of following along from like Kaito Files and a little bit of like Gaiden. There's a fair amount of your combos that seem to bounce the enemy off the floor. So there is a lot of potential, it looks like, for juggling again, which is nice.
Yeah. Just in case, though, because Pirate Yakuza tried to limit them, I'm not going to expect too much. but time will tell. Right. So then we move on to the gem that is the side content. One of them, the best one, Kanda's damage control. That shit had me laughing. Whoever picked the name
me.
was a genius.
It
Yeah.
killed me. It's perfect. You cannot get anything more perfect. You did it. Congrats.
Exactly.
It seems like this is going to be like an Akame's network kind of deal, right? Like you take missions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems to be
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the sub stories and stuff. Their activation is all like kind of in one fixed location of Kanda.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about this one, right? Like we just know that it's a mission-based kind of deal. We're going to go around doing various tasks, and yeah, I feel like that's all there is to this for the time being, at least. Though, might be worth pointing out there is one that involves mahjong for some reason. So,
Bruh.
I didn't see that. God.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
it's called something like "I want to learn mahjong!" exclamation mark. Which hey, I'll help you.
Game of
I-
the year.
I never thought we'd have to teach Kanda mahjong, bro.
Dear God, that's gonna be a 70-hour activity. The guy's dumb as an ox.
He is.
Kanda's gonna pick up the mahjong table, throw it around, and that's the damage control.
Yeah.
He's
Stop
gonna learn
Kanda.
heat. He's gonna learn heat actions from that. That's why he lifts those plates during the boss fight in 3.
Oh god, yeah.
And then
That
they...
entire fight in K3 is gonna be fun.
It
Oh,
will
yeah.
be. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I wonder what they'll do with the quick time events as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mm.
that one.
I think they.
Yeah.
I mean, erroneous added Steam aside, they did keep the naked bathhouse scene in Laddition. I think they keep
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
think they
Fair.
keep that one.
I really hope
that
so.
one
I
in the
really hope
Kanda one.
so. Yeah.
The bed one is gonna look weird in Dragon Engine and the crack.
Yeah, it is.
Then they also announced the Coliseum side content piece where, funnily enough, they reused the Yakuza 7's dungeons, like the sewers, of
Yeah.
all things.
Hmm.
I'm down with it as long as, it's like more, content for you to like make use of the combat. I always appreciate those, even if they're like a bit lacking. It gives you a reason to, use the combat. So I appreciate that. Anything you guys want to add about the Coliseum, or should we just move on? Because
I
there's-
think I
Yeah.
think that personally, that the Colosseum, like the past few iterations, Gaiden's Castle especially, a little bit of Pirate Yakuza with like the different boat stuff, like it might not quite have the same kind of depth as the Colosseums from like the original games,
Hmm.
but they're trying with it. And the one thing that I would just complain about, like the previous iterations, is just a lack of things to do. Like they've
Mhm.
like the actual like activities and the actual like Colosseum itself, like it always feels like they've actually like done a good job with it. It's been good fun. It's like it's not overstayed its welcome. It's been for me personally pretty good. So having another whole thing of, hey, here's a thing you can do with Mine, and just you'll get little different challenges and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm down for that.
It's
Same.
also, it kind of reminds me of the atmosphere in Dragon Heat from the Kurokyo games, because there's, unlike, let's say, the Castle and Metlantis, there's less of an emphasis on glitz and glamour, for lack of a better term, and it's just two guys in a rundown arena fighting each other, which kind
Yeah.
of fits the whole moodier campaign and all that. I think it might actually go a completely different route, because the Colosseum in Pirates was drastically different from Gaiden, which I appreciate in concept, so maybe this one harkens back to the older games in a way, more of an emphasis on one-on-one, and then leaving the dungeon-esque stuff for the kind of, let's say, an equivalent to the multi, whatever they're called, like similar to Clan Creator, but you only fight as Kiryu.
Yeah. I do hope they have like some variety in it, because one of my main problems with the Pirate Yakuza Coliseum was just like you're basically doing the same thing again and again, and all they do is ramp up the amount of enemies and their health. Like that's it. But yeah, I can't think of. Oh yeah, they also had like a reward system in this. It seems like at the end of whatever, there's like a chest you can unlock. Not sure what that's about, but that's interesting. And I'm not sure if they have set sub stories or if that's part of Kanda's damage control. But you guys have seen right, like there was a shot where I think the narrator was saying something like, "Mina is not going to be like Kiryu, like forgiving and shit," and then he stomps on a guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're going to be more like an anti-hero, I think they said.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. It looked pretty intriguing. Is there anything else at all you want to add to anything? Because I think we're basically done with the whole thing now. In terms of like the
Only the-
Mina Gaiden. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the survival mode seems interesting. When in the trailer when they pick up the Purgatorchy, which good name, there's a usage called a command cost for it. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is that going to replace like heat? Are you going to like only have the ability to use like items a couple of times? I'm also wondering, and I doubt we will, but considering he has sub stories, does Mine get an Amon fight?
Oh, that's a good point. It is a Gaiden, so you'd think he would.
Yeah.
That would be cool, though. Wow, I never thought about it until now.
Same.
Yeah, I would hope he gets an Amon because, you know, Kiryu Gaiden had an Amon, Majima Gaiden had an Amon, so fingers crossed.
Yeah. Kaito had a weird amalgamation of
Tesso.
Teppo.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there to talk about? I think like we're pretty much done with the Dark Ties campaign. So there's one thing that's left, unless anyone wants to add something, or are we done?
Well, my question is for the three of you: which do you play first, K3 or Dark Ties?
Oof.
Because I'm gonna stream it, I feel like I'm gonna go with the Yakuza 3, like Kiwami 3.
Fair.
I don't know.
I'm definitely doing Dark Ties first.
What about you, Gokudoni?
I don't know. Because here's the thing: if it was just in a non-reviewer setting or whatever you want to label it as, if it was just casual, yeah, I'd immediately play Dark Ties. But I know that people are going to be more interested in K3, and that's where most of the debate is going to be around. So I'll need to do that originally. That's probably the only concern that I have towards this release, but that's from a content creator standpoint, where they effectively gave us 2 games at the same time. So whichever one you pick, you're gonna leave. You're gonna miss out on some of the hype and the original like shock factor of a game releasing until you actually structure a review and go over most of the content.
I was gonna say I'm actually not so sure that it would be more about Kiwami 3 because Dark Ties is a whole new piece of content, right? So people are gonna be like, yo, what's in this Gaiden game? But then again, I think you kind of were right. Maybe most people would prefer to just play it on their own. But with Kiwami 3, people might be curious to see comparisons before they buy the game. So
yeah, that's gonna be where the brunt of it comes for a lot of people. Plus, if it weren't for the new cutscenes and how they revealed that they would alter certain points in the story, I think that's gonna be the big stepping stone for a lot of people and how that might affect Lad 9 or something.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that, by the way. Like, I just thought, okay, probably makes sense to start with the full game first, right? I'm just probably going to do that.
Then again, Yokoyama said, oh, it doesn't really matter what you play first. I swear if, like, for anyone that hasn't played Doji 3, I'm pretty sure Minasaga, I keep calling it, oh god. Anyway, Dark Ties might actually spoil bits of Yakuza 3 for someone that's just getting into 3 with this game, so I don't know. Until the game drops.
Yeah, considering we saw the shot of Mine on the hospital roof, it's like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain as well at some point during that direct, Yokoyama said, hey, you can start with this one. And it's like, I'm keeping a running tally of how many times RGG can say that with these games in a different way.
No, the Gaiden bits. At least they didn't say it.
Okay, Froob, you're going to relate to this one because you played the games, but the Trail series, you know how lore heavy that is, right?
Yep.
Insanely freaking heavy lore, each and every single game. NPCs' lives all around you that you get to see.
Change constantly every single chapter.
Now, Mr. Kondo, the series head basically behind Trails, once upon a time said, oh, you can start with Trails of Cold Steel 3. And people memed on that for eternity, and they still do. Like, you're literally jumping into the middle of an arc. Like, to be fair, I guess if you're really desperate, like starting the newest game, you can, but like, don't be surprised if you like miss out on a lot of like references and all that stuff.
I have a friend who's like very heavily into Trails as well. Just literally reviewed Trails first for a big publication, and their stance has changed over the years of kind of just if there is a Trails game that looks cool to you, just jump in.
Yeah.
You can always go backwards. And
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of where they're going with, RGG, where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, we kind of know we got like 20 games at this point. So
Mhm.
if there's one you think looks cool, go for it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's what we would suggest.
Yeah.
Although interestingly, like on this subject, like I know most people for a playthrough sense, and this will now be very interesting with free being less antiquated with a newer version going.
Mhm.
I always used to be like start with 0, K1, K2, and then do 3, 4, and 5, but beware that 3 is like, PS3 era, so it's old. Recently I've actually been a bit more, if you can stomach it, start OG1. And then OG2
Yeah.
and then 3. So I'm kinda wondering now if with this Kiwami 3, does it end? And actually, this is a question for the three of you.
Mhm.
When do the Kiwamis end? Like,
They don't.
yeah, like that's the thing, right? It makes sense to do 3 because 3 is now very old, but 4 and 5, especially 5, still hold up very well today. Like, they didn't Kiwami 0 because 0 is still one of the best playing games of the series. So when they get to Yakuza 5 and the sheer absolute beast that is Yakuza 5, do they full Kiwami it like 3, or do they pull a addition and put in an Unreal Engine wrapper?
I'm gonna tell you what they do. They'll
Go on.
get to Kiwami 5. They're going to chop 3 cities, condense everything into 2 cities, and that's what's gonna happen.
As long
It's
as one of
just
those cities
Shinada.
isn't Sukamino, I'm okay with that.
Oh,
I
God.
honestly, I would
look.
not mind if they go up to Kiwami 5, just because it would mean I can finally fucking play the game in one stream.
Oh god, that's what you think.
Guys,
Yes.
just think about this though. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Kiwami.
So what does Kiwami look like?
Unreal Engine.
Oh boy.
As if enough people don't hate the game already. Jesus Christ.
That's, I guess, the other thing, like, talking about this. I was, like, whenever we thought about K3, I was of the mindset of, if a K3 ever happened, we would see RGG's intentions, because obviously with Ladishin, it was Unreal. And I
Mhm.
thought, like, one of my big fears would they would do the same with Yakuza 3.
Mhm.
And it would be, like, nothing that people wanted. But obviously with K3, they're going the whole hog. They're going Dragon Engine. They're putting a lot more into it than I expected.
Mhm.
So I have more faith in this than, like, what K2 turned out to be. But do you all think that this has been the end of the Unreal Engine experiment? Or do you think they could do it with something else, like, say, Dead Souls?
Yeah, no, I think because I'm pretty sure some game did this recently, but I swear there's some game that was on Unreal Engine. It's like Metal Gear Solid or something like that. It's like the original engine is still there, and then it's just the graphic engine is Unreal or something. Because I'm pretty sure that's what they do with Ishin.
Virtuous, yeah, with Delta.
Yeah, there you go. And the thing with Ishin being on the Unreal Engine was it was definitely just an experiment because like Unreal Engine is, I'd assume, taught in schools, like how to work with it and all that sort of stuff. And so when they get new staff in, they probably already know how to use Unreal Engine. It's more universal and whatever. They don't have to teach them how to like specifically use our engine that we've made. Then it also meant that if it, worked, they wouldn't have to do upkeep on their own engine and all that, and it'll save them time and money and whatever. But then I think they realized, because the more recent Unreal Engines are dog shit. They just keep getting worse. They just realized, like, even though all we're doing is basically just a port, we're going to call it a remake, but it's basically just like a port.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Like, it's so much easier for them to do their own engine. If they think, oh, the engine can't do this, we can make it do this.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever see anything on Unreal Engine ever again.
Basically what Snowiest said, if we're going to get another Ishin remake treatment, like, all the problems that came with that, I would rather not have an Unreal game again in RGG.
I would agree with that, but at the same time, like, I'm not sure if this is factual. Someone feel free to check on that. But I think one of the programmers at RGG mentioned something along the lines of, at least when it comes to new hires, they train them on Unreal Engine before getting into Dragon Engine or something.
I
To
remember
that effect.
hearing something like that.
So, like, they are acquainted with the tech, but personally, I would still prefer if they don't use it, unless it's like a French case, a la, Dead Souls Kiwami, which would make sense specifically for that game, or maybe Binary Domain. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, because it feels like I know, like I feel like the community has gotten so much more bigger now, and it's not the toxic isn't the word that I'm after, but like when Dead Souls came out with how everyone was sick to death of zombie games, and we really were,
Yeah.
and like the fact that in the West we got Dead Souls 2 weeks after Binary Domain didn't help either. When Binary Domain had so many improvements thanks to the knowledge of Dead Souls, it does feel like you wouldn't still want to risk too much on a Dead Souls. And I think a lot of people would really like Dead Souls if it just improved the frame rate and
Mhm.
modernized the controls.
Mhm.
So I feel like doing a what they did with Addition of an Unreal Engine kind of Kiwami with Dead Souls would be a nice, easy, cheap way to be able to do Dead Souls without it being too much of a risk. But I also think that there's enough people in the community now that, like, even with like the talk of how Dead Souls almost killed the series off, I still think there's a lot of newer people that would be genuinely interested in how the hell do they do a zombie shooter, especially
Exactly.
if it plays well.
If I had to pick between Unreal Dead Souls and no Unreal Dead Souls, I'll take Unreal Dead Souls. I'll take it.
Yes.
Also-
Especially if they actually give it quality of life and make the game stop crashing. Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most important
my
part.
favorite quality of life, the game running.
I have a surprising amount of people in my chat that started with Dead Souls.
That's
It's
awesome.
wild, isn't it? I respect that. You're
Hell
all
yeah.
absolutely crazy motherfuckers, but I respect that.
Maybe
sure
it
they-
was the same logic during the PS3 days where it's like, has a subtitle, doesn't have a number. To hell with it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's one thing we forgot to mention. They mentioned or they announced the Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. Woo! It's coming to all other platforms. Are you guys gonna buy it?
No. But I did buy it for my Switch 2, so I guess I'm a little bit of an outlier for that.
Yeah.
If I didn't have it for my Switch 2, even probably still no. I'm wondering if they're going to start delisting the original at some point on PC.
Oh, man.
No,
I think for Zero DC, I think we're not the target audience. I think the target audience is people that haven't played Zero
Yeah.
for the small amount that haven't played Zero, but also very much the people that either are interested in having the English dub, because they want to hear the English dub, or for accessibility.
Mhm.
Fixed translation. I think that's going to be very important.
Yeah.
And I also think the red light mode is interesting. I haven't specifically looked at any of the new cutscene stuff because I'm trying to wait until I play the playthrough myself.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it. I saw in my recommendations a video by a certain, I think they're called Snowiest Angie Man, that said, what was the point of
Oh,
Yakuza
yeah.
Director's Cut?
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm a little
it paid
concerned
for the
about this.
game because it was $90
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
I
Well-
might get it. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I will say.
Oh, be
I don't know about Xbox, but I did see on the PS5 like physical box that they're doing for
Yes.
I don't know what they're doing with Kiwami 1. I assume Kiwami 2 is going to be 60 FPS. But they're also putting Director's Cut all in like a bundle.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that will cost, but thank Christ, because that is a way better thing than what the Switch 2 got, where it was just on its own.
Yes.
At least on the Switch 2, Yakuza 0 isn't there, so it's not like you have some other option. But the thing I was going to say is that even if you're a new player and you're not us, you're like, I've never played Yakuza 0, it's time to finally get it. It going up in price is going to be the big problem, because it's like, if you got it like a month ago, you would have paid significantly less. But
Yeah.
now you're paying significantly more for the same thing. So that's the big
Yeah.
problem with it.
It's literally €10 at this point in my store, I think, because it literally went on sale. So it depends on how they'll treat it. I'm more curious about the whole triple package, because I still don't have K1 and K2 physical for PS5. So it's like, on that end, I would be interested. Though some people also said that K1 and K2 would have an upgrade path, but 0 wouldn't. There's a lot of things aren't stated with certainty right now.
Yeah.
But I would be interested in getting it, at the very
Guys,
least for the multiplayer mode.
Just to let this sink in. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is going to be $50. K3 with the Mine Gaiden is going to be $60.
Wild, isn't it?
It is
Absolutely
wild. And the OG Yakuza 0 is $20 on Steam right now.
Yeah.
It goes on sale for like 5 cents all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm a
that's
little
another
worried
thing.
they're gonna delist the original Yakuza 0. It's why I keep saying to people, if you want to play Yakuza 0 now on a system that it's out, you should probably kind of get it now. if you're that interested.
At the bare minimum, they probably will keep it for those who have it, right? Because if not,
if you've already bought it, you will still have access to it. That's how this works.
yeah,
But
okay.
whether they'll keep it listed when Zero DC comes out is another question. But then
Yeah.
Shadow, the Sonic Generations, they didn't. Was it Shadow Sonic Generations? There was a recent Sonic game that was like, yeah, they're probably going to delist that, and then say we're just like, nah, that'll still stay. You can still get that. You can still buy that. So
Mm.
it's just whether or not the value of what is new in Zero DC is important to you. Like, obviously, having the game available, as you were saying, like on PS5. Welcome to the PS3, PS4, PS5 family, Yakuza 0. Congratulations, you did it. Free generation game. Having it like on Xbox Series X, for example, provided the K2 runs at 60 FPS. I think that's actually very important for both of those on PS5 and Xbox Series X, because otherwise, again, it's a little bit, why don't you just buy the PS4 version on sale? Same
Yeah.
with K1. But I think having those available for all the newest consoles is good. I think the
Mhm.
Switch versions have kind of been given a bit of a short stick here again. As Snowiest said, you have to get Zero DC, K1 separately, K2 separately. K1's a mess because obviously it's available on Switch 1 right now. It doesn't run super great. I love you, RGG, but that game wasn't great. And you have like obviously the upgrade path for that. K2's looking good on Switch 2. That's actually looking pretty decent. 30 FPS locked, but it's looking pretty good. And like obviously they were getting these out before a potential K3, because K3 is also day one for everything, which is nice. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, I think we were all expecting K3 to be, if not $90, $80, especially when they introduced like Dark Ties.
Mhm.
But that's a good price
It's
for what is
great.
a full Kiwami and an extra side story. It's what makes me a little worried that Dark Ties is going to be a little on the shorter side.
Yes, I was thinking
If
about
it's
that
something
too.
around the size of Kaito files, but we've added obviously side content like sub stories,
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Same.
I'm very
Same.
okay with that.
Same.
Especially if they change chapter 2 or the trend of chapter 2. There's a lot of things that you can let slide when one game does it, but then when you repeat it a third time, it's like, okay, no.
I
Yeah.
love the devil flags in Pirate Yakuza. What are you talking about?
To this day, one
no,
of the biggest things that I'm kind of sad about is that you don't have renewable islands in Pirate Yakuza. Like, if you're done with all of them, they're just gone.
Yeah. Because that content can be fun. And it's
It
just,
is,
once you're done with it, you're done.
Yeah.
New Game Plus, but then yeah, you have to reset everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Including
is
the weapons.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about
Man.
recent RGG New Game Pluses, is it doesn't feel like true New Game Pluses.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And also some of the dumb decisions, because I'm going to say it. As much as I love you, Don Doco, I get not being able to skip it in New Game, but why do you have to sit there in New Game Plus for 20 minutes? Because you cannot leave Don Doco until day 3, even on New Game Plus.
Yep.
And you can't like just skip the day either.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you can't. In the any percent speedrun now, we make so much money that we no longer get to 1 star. So we don't do anything in Don Doco on any percent either. It's literally 20 minutes of waiting. Like,
Yeah.
I get that they're proud of that minigame, and they should be, but no skip for at least New Game Plus? What is happening?
Last time
I feel like that's always.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
I feel like that's always been a problem with the RGG games, where they just kind of don't even consider the concept that someone will play through their game a second time.
Yes.
Yeah. Last time I went through Infinite Wealth, I did a little skit when I got to Dondoka where I got off my chair, just hopped out on my bed in the back, and I just sat there for a bit.
I'm sad I didn't set it up in time. The next time I get to Don Doco in a speedrun, I'm going to see how many times I can speedrun Majima Saga whilst I'm waiting for Don Doco to end.
That's genius.
Somebody mentioned that in my chat once. What was it again? You did that before, right? Like doing Majima Saga again and again, multiple times.
That was, oh god, that was a charity fundraise thing where some stupid idiot who might be in this call right now decided, what if I was to speedrun Majima Saga 30 times in a row?
Oh,
Do you know what I also did that with? Ebina.
Oh.
Because
I remember
struggling.
that.
Yeah, I was struggling with the final boss of Infinite Wealth, which, yeah, that happened again yesterday. And to learn the fight, and I do this, like, usually off stream, and it usually doesn't take that long, but obviously some fights do. I just did it 30 times in a row. Because that way you learn, okay, this can go wrong, that can go wrong, or I'm steamrolling this guy, why am I doing that? So sometimes I'm an idiot and do things 30 times.
I mean, it's
Incredible.
understandable in your case because you know, from a professional standpoint, you need to know what you're up against, and he's very RNG heavy. Also, I just realized we'll need quite a few spoiler tag sections in the case some people haven't played either Infinite or whatever.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah, no worries.
We warned about Infinite Wealth spoilers earlier when we started talking about it a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
just in case, I will put something in the beginning. I'll try at least, if I don't forget. Is there anything you guys want to mention before we call it off? All right, that works.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, because the last time that we met was like, what, 6 or 7 months ago? I feel like despite that, we managed to kind of get back into the swing of things within like a couple of minutes. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah,
same.
I think the next time will likely be post K3. I think that's what we're probably all thinking.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It'll probably be like a couple of weeks after, so we can all do both K3 and Dark Ties, and then we can gush over how hot Mine is.
I imagine if we have a summit, if it happens, because I think we had this before, where there was like a short summit where they just
January
showed...
one. Yeah.
Did they just show like more Pirate Yakuza and that's it, I think?
Yeah, like gameplay stuff that they hadn't at the time, I believe.
Yeah, I can see them doing that for K3 as well, but I don't think that would warrant another podcast, but I mean, we can talk about that later. We still have like
a short one if there's like some interesting things. Like again, say they actually remove Hostess Maker, or they do Hostess Maker and the Cavalry Girls with 20 hearts in the same mini game. At which point we're all just gonna say no.
No, the whole podcast is just us saying no in a row, like all of us one by one. No.
No, we could do one just for Christmas where it's like, okay, I hate this. Damn, I hate this.
The Chris Kringle of podcasts. We were having this conversation recently, like I kind of brought it up a little bit about how like there's a lot of negativity at the moment when it comes to like a lot of not just Yakuza, but obviously like social stuff, but like especially with Yakuza, I've seen like some things like Pirate Yakuza is making RGG regress to like it's the worst game in the series. And it's just like you're allowed to not enjoy it, but like saying it's the worst game and like making RGG worse is like it's a bit hyperbole. There's a lot of negativity like that, and it's upsetting. Like
saying it's the worst is also one thing. But like if you try to drag others down with you, like, oh, how could you think it's like? Why do you care so much, bro? Like I'm playing it, not you. Like
I understand why people don't like it because like the plot is kind of like a bit paper thin.
Yeah.
To say it's like the worst thing ever when certain things exist.
We were talking about this earlier. If you ever think Pirate Yakuza is the worst piece of shit in the RGG games, need I remind you, Yakuza Online exists. But even then, I'm sure somebody out there is going to say, no, actually, that's not the worst one. Pirate Yakuza still is the worst. But I mean, I guess we'll see in the comments later.
It's pretty obvious there's a lot of people in the community that have never played Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. That's all I'll say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are we gonna have a fist fight by the end of this?
No.
We're gonna have a Fist of the North Star
fight. That's the topic.
I said it first.
God damn it.
We can talk about Lost Paradise later when they hopefully port it to all other platforms. Okay, hopefully.
Not gonna lie, like episode specific, yes, game specific episodes would be something really cool. But then we don't have that many anniversaries to go around where it's like, oh yeah, the 13th and a half anniversary of Lost Paradise or something like that, and it gets demonetized because it's the Toei Animation or whoever's in charge.
Yeah,
black screen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun ideas we could do. It's just, well. I'm sometimes lazy, and other times I actually have something I do. So, but I guess we'll see. If
we also have times of the year like this where there are video games and more video games and
video games,
many video games.
Yes,
agreed.
Yes.
God, can they stop putting everything in a single month? Thanks. Or within a month. I'm still waiting for Ninja Gaiden 4 to drop, and they keep announcing more stuff.
It's so funny in that when K3 comes out, the week before K3, I think
Neo.
It's Code Vein 2 or Neo, and then the week before that is Code Vein 2.
Resident Evil 9 later as well.
All right.
Oh yeah. God.
Yeah.
Sauros, the new Housemarque game, is coming out in like March, and it's like, all right, cool, here we go.
God damn.
It's cases like these where I'm glad we're not at least by the book variety content creators, and we mostly focus on Yakuza and whatever floats our boat. Because imagine covering all of that on one platform day one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm jealous because Leon, you've been doing Silent Hill F, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
I want to play that game, and I have no time. Like,
Man.
I really want to play that.
I'm loving it. Like, I do recommend it. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna play it at some point, but it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. We just all have to be And I guess that's not the worst thing, is we just have to pick and choose what to play, which I guess is why people are feeling a bit burnt by Pirate Yakuza of just, you know, they didn't like it, or they had like an expectation with the premise that it'd be like a little something that, you know, it wasn't. But yeah, it's just, you know, you can take a break from this series.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do I say this?
Well, you can replay Lost Judgment, you know?
Yeah,
you can.
A lot of people seem to just want to do that, and then they're like, oh wait, I'm just preparing myself mentally for these statements to also get taken out of context, where it's like, they are toxically positive, or something to that effect. It's like,
toxic.
No,
And these days, if you would just want to be neutral, you still get called like toxic positivity, whatever. Like,
you get called a shill or something,
or a shill. Like, you know, you have a lot of names, different like colorful names for it. But like, genuinely, if I understand if for example, some of the recasts upset you, or I don't know, the combat does not look good enough for you. But for me personally, I just got to a point where I'm kind of indifferent to a lot of these things, and it's not just because, I don't know, I'm mindlessly buying all of these games because I'm a shill. I enjoy the games. I genuinely still enjoy the games. Like, yeah, some things are not the same. Some things might be lesser in quality compared to other games, but this is not that other game. This is Kiwami 3.
Yeah.
And things are going to be different. So it's like, no wonder it's not the 100% exact same. So,
yeah.
Again, like, I don't know what to tell you. Recasts and Yakuza happen all the time. Asset reuse happens all the time, if that still pisses somebody off. I don't know. But yeah, like, just maybe take a break. I also get burnt out from Yakuza all the time. I mean, if you stream Yakuza all the time, or if you upload Yakuza videos all the time, so, like, it's going to take a toll on you at some point. So it happens to the best of us. But I think what I'm trying to say here is people can enjoy these quote-unquote cash grab scam products without being shills, or without being, I don't know, whatever the hell you call them. And yeah, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's literally just, don't play it out of perceived obligation. Play it because it's interesting to you. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be a fake one or whatever if I don't play it. Just play what you like. That's it.
Yeah,
if I
we're not saying to people, you know, you can't have an opinion, because opinions are good, but it's just be eloquent about your opinion.
Be eloquent, yes.
Don't just say that Fist of the North Star is bad. Say that Fist of the North Star is bad because the combat is one of the worst, and the city is badly structured, and for some reason every save point has a motorbike and there's no fast travel, and the enemy density is too high, and Kenshiro smells.
Hey, but at least it has a good soundtrack.
That's very true. Very true. Very true.
But regardless, I gotta say the Lost Paradise situation is crazy. Gotta make a video out of that.
That's gonna be a video, an hour-long video.
Yeah, just Snowiest ranting about Lost Paradise the entire time.
Yeah, you'll ask for like a soundbite from everybody, and like Snowiest will give you an hour-long rant on how terrible the game is, and my soundbite will just be me screaming in the background.
I can just imagine Froob and Snowiest going off, and then me and Leon in the background just chilling and drinking coffee or something like that. Yes, indeed.
I'll join in maybe for like a 3-minute rant in the middle. I got you guys. But yeah, this has been an awesome episode, you guys. I just want to say once again, you know, thank you for joining me. It has been a blast just talking about Kiwami 3 and talking about the new Mine Gaiden that's looking amazing. And that's going to be it for this episode, people. If you have any ideas of like anything you want to see in these podcasts, like, I don't know, just anything that's either related to a specific game, maybe not a Yakuza game even, do let us know. Like, I do want to see if there's demand for specific things. Let us know. Maybe we can make it happen. You never know. Maybe there's going to be a podcast episode where we just talk about food. I don't know. Something like that. But
ranking every restaurant.
Yes, why not? But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to see you in the next podcast episode, whenever that is going to be. Now, you guys take care, stay safe, and stay healthy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like an upgrade to like actually punch your enemy.
Like they seem to be like not necessarily the word streamlined, but they're trying to feel like they integrate it more into when you use it.
Sorry, just checking. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, I think
I have
Discord is dying.
5,000 ping.
Dude,
Oh
same.
my god.
What happened?
Something's
Discord
happening
died.
I thought it
here.
was just me.
What
You all sound
happened?
like robots. I thought it was my internet.
Yeah, I
Oh my
thought
God.
the same. Hold on. Can we change the server of this shit? There we
Oh my
go.
god, leave this as a post-credit scene.
Bro, I think they picked Brazil for the servers. Hold on.
Yo, nice.
Bro, I
Okay.
thought I was just being Australian.
Yeah, I thought a similar thing given where I live, but I think we're good now.